the Scarletlolo Cooking Show. Welcome. Hello and welcome to the Scarletlolo Cooking Show. Well, we've had a huge harvest of salad, lettuce that is. It's a type of iceberg lettuce. This salad is going to be with baby tomatoes, cucumber, avocado and cheese. And so I'm going to break it up with salad. I like to break it into pieces rather than cut it, because it seems to retain the crispiness and the structure better. So this is all washed and very fresh. Show you all the picking apart in fast forward as usual. We're just plucking pieces from this nice crispy lettuce, and I'm just visually checking as I'm going through it. This lettuce has been growing in the greenhouse over winter. They were planted in September and they grew in the greenhouse since then. And so far we had probably 4 harvests, this kind of size, a big bowl full, big basket full. So let's put this aside and we're going to do some baby tomatoes. The baby tomatoes are cut in half and I'm going to add them to the salad. Tomatoes are usually easier to slice with a serrated edge knife because it cuts through the skin very easily. I like to cut out the stem because it's hard and chewy. With cherry tomatoes you could just cut them in half. Cherry tomatoes are wonderful in a salad. They're nice and juicy and quite sweet. I have a whole bunch of plum tomatoes. I've now chopped up the cucumbers into fairly small pieces and I'm going to add those to the salad. I've got a nice mozzarella cheese that I'm going to cube up, cubed mozzarella. And I will add some finely chopped Gouda cheese as well. With avocados, I like to find the growing starting point and then cut them like so. And all the stuff I don't want to eat goes in the compost. Out of pure laziness, I'm adding some coleslaw that I bought. I didn't have time to make my own. Especially in summer, this kind of salad makes a full dinner or lunch. It's fresh and crisp. So, that's it. Beautiful salad. Voila, bon appetit. This is a recipe that I've learned when I was about 12 years old. My mother taught me. I use olive oil, onion, balsamic vinegars, low salt soya sauce, black pepper and sugar, some demerara sugar and herbs, any herbs that you have freshly growing. I've got some chives, parsley and marjoram and basil here, but you can use whatever you have growing, or if you haven't got anything growing, just use salad herbs. Will do nicely. Any of these can be grown on a windowsill, but basil especially likes a lot of heat, so outdoor summer is best. What makes this dressing special is not only the ingredients, but the crunching. That's the trick. Now let's get started by peeling and chopping the onion. I'm not an expert on chopping onions. My mother can chop them probably twice as finely as I can, but I do my best, and that will just have to be good enough. Good enough for jazz. got a bowl to put the onions in. The onions that didn't chop as finely, I saved for something else. I've washed the parsley and I'm now chopping it up finely. That smells lovely. Basil and chives are coming to play. Handful of golden marjoram, and I will take the leaves off the stems and then chop it finely. For this big onion I put 2 spoons demerara sugar, and I crunch the onion with 4 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar, so that the flavor from the onions goes into the vinegar and the sugar crushes the onions and helps to get the flavor out. I'm making double amounts again, so I've used a large onion, so I'm going to use double amounts of vinegar as well. And it is perfectly fine to use a different type of vinegar. You can use red wine vinegar as well, and you can mix them. So I've used half and half, but the important thing is to crunch the onion, to open the pores, and then add the herbs in and crunch the herbs with the onion and the sugar to get all that lovely flavor into the vinegar. To let the vinegar do its work, I then let the dressing rest for as long as possible. If you like, you can add some black pepper. I'm adding a tablespoon of soya sauce to the mix. This is a low salt soya sauce, but the soya sauce flavors the onions. The pores of the onions are open now, so the onions will take on the color and the flavor of the soya sauce, and they become quite mild and creamy. Just before serving, I add 4 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. In my case, I'm going to make this 8 because I'm doing double the amount. Quite often I put half of it in a container where you can shake and pour. It's quite handy. That is delicious. Buy a big tin and you refill whichever bottle you like. With lettuce, it's a good idea to let it crisp up in a bowl full of cold water in the sink or in a washing up bowl, especially if you're harvesting yourself. Your salad greens will be a little more dirty probably than they are from the supermarket. So when you put them in the water, you'll see the little snails crawl out and you pick those off. And then I like to wash it, give it a good visual check before I put it in the salad spinner. I've now got more lettuce than I can handle, but these are really nice crunchy bits of lettuce. It's already washed and spun. I'm just making a nice big salad, and I'm gonna chop some of these tomatoes into the salad. Now I'm gonna add some cucumber, and I'm adding some diced Comté cheese. So here's a nice fresh salad, and I'm gonna snip some bits of basil on top. Even if you're not adding any salt, that does not mean your diet is salt-free, because so many things you buy in the shop will have salt already in them. Bread, even things like chocolate, butter, so many other things. Anything that's processed will already have salt in it. So having a totally salt-free diet is nearly impossible. Celery contains natural salts and has quite a salty flavor on its own. So if it's chopped very finely and strewn over a salad, it's a really lovely, crunchy and salty addition, full of vitamins. Lamb's lettuce and olives makes a beautiful side salad. And we've got a Caesar salad and mango, Sharon fruit and cream for dessert.
Oh my god, that's dessert. Wow.
Wow, look at this. A whole bowl full of fresh lettuce, endive, mustard, cress and some spinach leaves. Beautiful. To get the most use out of my water, once I fill the sink, I wash the less dirty things first and then go dirtier and wash other things to be respectful to the environment. We've got guests and I'm going to make a big salad. The salad I'm making is mainly from the allotment, and it's mustard cress, which has got a really sweet flavor, spinach and endive salad, which it can be a little bitter, but if you soak it in lukewarm water for long enough, it takes the bitterness out of it. You can get something very similar from the supermarket, but this is all homegrown, and I've added some coriander for flavor. I'm going to add the dressing that I made yesterday as the last step just before serving. It's a happy day. We've got guests for dinner. Woo! Dinner guests at Christmas time. And lots of messages from my favorite friend in New York.
Give it a go with Lolo.